it's Jen with Home by Jen, and today we are doing another video podcast. I'm so excited. So today I'm joined by the lovely Michelle, and Michelle is like super busy, like productive and balancing mom. She runs 2 blogs, she has kids, and she's a PTA president. So I'd like to welcome Michelle today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So today we are talking about how we can create like the ultimate balance as a busy mom. So I know I get questions about this all the time, and that's why I thought Michelle would be so perfect for this. So she runs a blog at birdandivy.com and letsgetlaunched.com. So you, oh my goodness, are just like crazy busy, aren't you?
So busy all the time, but I love it. That's how I function.
Awesome. So would you mind letting everybody know, if they don't know who you are yet, a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Michelle Bartow. I have a website development company, Launch Creative, and a blog, Bird and Ivy. I have 4 kids. I live in Newport Beach, California, with my kids and my husband. I love the outdoors. I love to cook. I love to run. I love to read. Just basically love being outside in the sun, and have a background, like a really eclectic business background in consulting and purchasing and fashion design. And then my first love has always been computer science. So that's how I kind of hold them all together.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. So, okay, you have 2 blogs, you have 4 kids, and you said something about, well, not just this moment, but when we talked before, that you were going to be PTA president. So, wow, yeah. Okay. So, how do you have any free time ever?
I really carve out free time. I schedule everything. I schedule my free time like I schedule sports appointments or doctor's appointments or anything. And so, yeah, I really try to make a point of, at least we have a date night, my husband and I on Sundays or Saturdays, one of the 2, I will make sure that I take at least 4 hours where there's no work and I just do either something for myself. And then with the kids on the weekends, I try to get at least 4 hours. I carve in stuff like, with one of my 4, he's the middle, so we do like a mommy and me sailing class, and so like it's sort of me time, but it's him time, and that way I feel like everyone gets like that personal like love from mom.
Right. Oh, that is so, I love that. So you're focused on like your businesses and, volunteering and you and your family. And I love how you've organized everything. So everybody gets a piece of you, even yourself. You get a piece of yourself. That's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like if you don't make time for yourself, then you feel it down the road. So.
Oh, for sure. For sure. So, what are, I wrote down some questions beforehand, so I didn't, but what are the 3 most important things that people should do to live a busy life and stay happy? So it's like anybody can lead a busy life, but the key is being happy. So how do they do that?
I'm a big believer in like our plan. I plan out like what's important in my life. Like my number 1 is like my kids and my family, and number 2 is my career, and then number 3 is volunteering. And I write those down and I stick those everywhere. So someone says, "Oh, could you come help me with such and such thing that you would love to help them with," but it's not on what you said is like your priorities for your life. You can just say, "No, I wish I could." You can help them in other ways. And I feel like having that is a good way to, sometimes when you say yes to things you don't want to do, you stress, even if you don't know that you do, and it just sort of eats away at the other stuff you want to be doing. So I have that in my planner. I have it on my bulletin board. I just like look at it all the time. And at the end of the day, I'll always like look and say like, did everything I do, did it move me closer to what my goals were? And that kind of like rejuvenates me. And then I network. I have like, I make friends with all of the parents in my kids' different grades. It sounds crazy, but I have a bunco group for each of my kids who are in school age. I don't love bunco. Some people really love bunco, but I just find that even if I don't make it every month to each of the groups, it's just a good way to like know who your kids' friends are, and maybe there's something going on in school and your child didn't tell you. Sometimes people need help with business and you come across things that way, but just having this network of people who know you, who know your family, and have your back is so great because, you know, sometimes you're running late from work and you can text 5 people and say, hey, can you pick up my kid or wait 5 minutes while I'll be there, and that really helps keep your sanity because you're not stressed because they're happy because they're with a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm a huge planner. I have a meal plan that I do monthly, and I have like I mentioned, I block out like time for me and time for everything, and that way you can kind of look at your day and go, okay, I know what I'm doing today. I feel like sometimes it's so stressful to go, I have so many things and I don't know even where to begin and what am I supposed to do right now? And you can just kind of get distracted or go on Facebook for a while and then you do nothing and you're extra stressed out. So
I love that. So you're really focused on your time. You're also okay with knowing that you can't do it all and you need like a tribe behind you, and maybe it isn't like just, you're not just relying on your husband or yourself, but you have made friends. And I think that is lacking on so, you know, in so many people's lives.
yeah, I feel like if you try and do it alone, you can't, and then it's yourself up, you know.
So how do you like build that tribe? Do you just like go up and say, hi, I'm, you know, so-and-so and I'd love to, or whatever? I mean, how do you do that?
So usually what I'll do for what I've done with my kids in all their grades, but just in general, is I'll usually host like a bunco group or something. I'll usually take it for the team and host like the first one, or with it at the beach or my and then I'll say, hey, I'd love if you would come. We're going to have this bunco group to get to know other parents or other people in your school. Would you be interested in coming? And if you wouldn't be interested, can you think of 2 friends who might? And that way everyone kind of brings a friend, and the people who end up coming are people who really want that tribe and really want to have that support and are really interested in being involved and like have similar kind of involvement in their kids' lives. I feel like it's a really great way to make a group who's got like a similar outlook because, you know, they all want to be there for the same reasons that you do.
Right. So it's so simple. I love that. That is just so amazing. Okay, so what do you do for fun?
So I'm a big runner. I like to have a big, ambitious, like physical or something challenge for the year. So my challenge this year is I'm going to climb Mount Shasta with a women's group at the end of June. For fun lately, all I've been doing is hiking and running with like big packs. But I also really love to read, so I'll bring a book and stick it on the, you know, seat of my car and read that if I've got 5 minutes somewhere. And then I love to cook and I love to bake cakes. Like I made wedding cakes for my friends because it's so great. It's an art project that has like a beginning and an end. And when you're done, you don't have any lingering like people emailing you and asking you questions. It's all done.
That's true. And you get to eat it at the end. I love that. So what are your non-negotiables? I hear that all the time. I talk to busy moms and they have non-negotiables, and something that I never even thought of before.
So I really depend on my cup of coffee in the morning. I have to have that. Like I try to move it around or, you know, have it a distance, but it really has to be the first thing in the morning because it just sort of makes me feel warm. I love it. Another big one is like I will not answer work emails on the weekend, even if, you know, no matter what. Like I've had websites that people have questions on that I've just built, and they'll send me an email at like 6 a.m. on a Sunday, and I just won't get back to them until Monday. And it's, you know, it's not if it were something major, like of course I would just fix it. But usually it's like, oh, I have all these questions and I just thought of them, and it's you have to carve out time for yourself. Right. And then another big one is exercise. I make sure that I at least run or have some kind of cardio once a week. And then I have to do like a yoga or Pilates like stretch once a week. And I will, even if I go to bed at 2 and my Pilates class is at 5, I will make it there, and I might be a zombie, but then I will try to, the next week I'll make sure I hit that bedtime so I'm not so tired. But it really makes a huge difference.
Oh, I bet, for sure. So I want to talk about some automation, because we talked about that a little bit. So what are your go-to tools that you use to automate your life? Because, you have so much going on. You have to, do some, right?
Yeah. So my biggest thing is I have a shared iCalendar, and I do that with my husband, and sometimes I'm going to be out of town with whoever's watching the kids. Just have all the things that people are responsible for getting people to. And then I have an additional calendar that that has my stuff as well, so I can see all of my stuff. But all the kids' stuff has its own separate category, or anything that, like, if there's some PTA stuff that my husband's going to fill in for me if I'm gone for work, that's on there too. I have reminders. I'm crazy about reminders. If I'm going to be a bunch of places, I will say, hey, Siri, set a reminder for when I'm at this location to remember to drop off checks. And then it'll pop up, and then I'll remember to drop off checks. Or, hey, Siri, remind me to call this person at 9 o'clock. That way you don't have, that's your virtual assistant saying, hey, and I'll do that for the whole day, and sometimes like a whole week. I'll just do a bunch of reminders because I can look at things and know, here's where I'm going to forget something. Here's where something's going to slip through the cracks. I even do it for when I'm picking my other kids up from school and bringing their friends home, just so I don't forget them, because no one wants to be that mom.
Yeah, that's true.
And then another big thing I'll use is IFTTT, which is if then that. I love it, and I have it synced with Evernote, and you can have if you're posting to Instagram, it can set up things so that you automatically tweet to Instagram or post to Facebook. You only have to do then one thing work-wise, because you've already hit all the areas. And then it's great I'll use it to move my stuff to Evernote. So I have notebooks in Evernote for each of the things that I'm responsible for. Volunteer activities, there's one with each of my children's names on them. And anytime I get an email that's related with an action item attached, I'll tag it and send it to there. And then at the end of the day, I can kind of look and say, okay, what things maybe I've forgotten today, but here's a bunch of new notes, and I can kind of look through and say, okay, this needs to be done. And then I'll set up, reminders and stuff for those things as well. Mm-hmm. But that way you're not you get so many things in your inbox, you don't have to worry that you maybe miss something.
Right.
Like a week later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then, those are my big ones.
I love IFTTT. I'm telling you, it's like the biggest, best free tool there is out there. I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, if you have those smart lights, you can just turn on your lights. Just turn on your lights at 6 a.m. What? Okay. I love it.
Yeah, we have it set up for my plants, because I was having a problem where I was killing all the plants. So I set it up with a Arduino little water sensor. So when the water sensor gets low, it tells me that the sensor's low, and then it waters.
I love it. So you're watering your plants automatically. That's crazy. Crazy. So now anybody can make sure that their plants are living.
Yeah, I really had to do it. I went out of town for a week and came back, and I made a bar herb garden in a container box. It was all dead.
Oh no. Well, now you have this awesome tool.
That was last year, not this year.
So, okay, here's the $1 million question now. So, can anybody do this? Can anybody use these tools? Because, if you are, into building websites and whatnot, so, you're tech savvy, but can anybody, even if they're not tech savvy?
Yeah, so IFTTT is great because it's got all those recipes, and so you don't have to be tech savvy. You just pick what you're looking for, and it'll look it up for you and walk you through all the steps. The watering one, you might need to be a little more tech savvy, but in terms of the reminders, they're all free and they're easy to use, and they really are set up from the point of view of you have no idea what you're doing. You just know like roughly what tool to use.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. So, this is kind of like a two-part question. I'm just going to ask in two parts. So how do they get started, and is it going to cost them an arm and a leg?
So yeah, both of them are free. There's Zapier, which I use sometimes, but I didn't really mention it because if you use more than 5 things on there, it's free, and they have
Right.
that's good too. I think great for business money, but for just your life, I love free tools, and easy is to go to the website and set it up. I have an iPhone, but I know that Android also has reminders and things like that. One of the big things that people who are in California, people always forget their bags to go in the grocery store, and then you have to pay, for them.
Yeah.
And so one thing that I've heard a lot of people using is the reminders when they get to the store to bring their bags in. So it'll just say like, hey, when I get to Target, remind me to bring my bags in. And then it'll say, oh, you're at Target. And that's free. I mean, you don't have to do anything more than just say where you want to be.
That is so great. Now, I don't do that, and we now get charged for our bags. So, I leave mine in the car, and I put them in the driver's seat next to me because I'm usually by myself when I go to the store, and so I see them. But, I mean, there are still times where I forget. I'm like, oh, man, they were in the car.
Right, but you almost always have your phone on you, and it's so great because it'll pop up and be like, ding. And I'll walk 5 steps from the car. I'm like, oh, that's right.
I'm going to add that as soon as we're done. So, I would love to talk about a worksheet that you have called your 5-minute happy. So would you tell everybody about this?
Yeah. So I made a worksheet called my 5-minute happy. It's taking a look at what your goals are and your priorities and things for the day. I feel like life gets so busy, and sometimes you just feel like you ran around all day and you don't even know what you accomplished, and you're just so tired, and you're like, well, I feel like I didn't even do anything today. So it's just like a simple worksheet with 6 lines, and it's like 3 things that made me happy today on the top, and then the bottom is 3 things that got me closer to my goals. And I find that doing that every single day has really helped, move things forward that I wanted to do. I wasn't sure that I even wanted to be PTA president, and a bunch of people asked if I would consider it, and I initially was going to say no. It's a big job, but it was on my worksheet was like 5 things that got me closer, and that was like a question that came up, like, will that get you closer to your goals? And in my case, it did, because it allowed me to be at my kids' school more often and kind of help with the curriculum and help with they have a lot of influence into what like programs get pushed forward, and I really want more STEM at the school, so that was something that I could say, okay, this is my worksheet. Like, I looked at it like 3 things I did today. 1, I like helped boost the STEM program forward. I did my meal plan for the month, and that was, sometimes it's hard. And then another one that I did the other day was I went sailing with my 6-year-old, that was something that seems like it would be fun, but it's kind of a chore too, because
Oh yeah,
6-year-old about 3 hours.
right. For sure.
Yeah. But then I put 3 things that made me happy, and it was just great because you could feel like, 1, you're working towards something, but 2, you're also happy, and these are the reasons why. Because I mean, in general, we all have so many good things that happen to us, and it's so easy to just let the everyday life moments be just so everyday.
Yes, for sure. And it also allows people to focus on the things that they actually did accomplish and that did make them happy, instead of sitting in and thinking, oh, I just got nothing done today, or I know I had a horrible day. And instead you force yourself to think, well, did I laugh? Was there something that like I really enjoyed doing today? And then it really can change that mindset for anybody. I love that. Oh, it's amazing. So let's how can they learn more about you and about like your automation and things like that. Can you let everybody know?
The more business related stuff will be on letsgetlaunched.com, which is my launch idea. For the more work life, just sort of balance kind of thing in general, that will be at my blog birdandivy.com. I have a bunch of posts related to work-life balance there already, and meal plans, and different printables that you can download. Some of my favorite resources for automation are there as well. And then there's at least one post a week that comes out of, this week it's like 5 minutes to a more organized life, and things that are on there like I make bread every day for the kids. It's not like I have the time, and it's not like it takes a lot of time. I've just figured out like a book that I use, and it really like takes 5 minutes over the course of the day, and you have fresh bread, and that's important to me. So then I can say like, yay, check that box, 5 minutes. I feel like I'm on top of things. So yeah, so I have lots of resources like that.
Awesome. So anybody who wants the your 5-minute happy worksheet, I'm going to be there's going to be a link below so you can download that, and I'm also going to be linking your websites below. So if you want to know more about Michelle and what she does, and your 5-minute bread, what? That's amazing. I'm gonna have to check that out, because I make bread, or I try on Sundays, and then we've got bread for the week. Because I don't know, like $6 for a loaf of bread when I know it only costs like maybe $2. So yeah, I'm gonna try that out instead of it being a Sunday thing. So anybody who wants to check that out, I'll have all of the links below. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us and letting the viewers get to know you and how you stay happy and balance your super busy life.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Like I prioritize, so I'm.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much.